Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Clockwork!
Well, I
Radiant
said
team
they
pick.
needed to do something really different, and they are doing something really different right now. So they are once again going, wow.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Yeah, Empire.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Well, it's really funny because I was like, all right, Clockwork's very different, not such a dominant start as the last one, but instead Vega goes in with the dominant start. They're like, all right, you picked up the Clockwork, we're gonna take the Shadow Fiend, so no Cognize shenanigans for you, no extra souls, we're gonna take it, and we're gonna dominate the mid lane because we are going to put Ogre Magi right there. So now Team Empire is left with either running like a regular support Clockwork, which not a lot of teams are a fan of running that without the Shadow Fiend, or this is actually offlane and they're already locked into that. So they really got to think now. Their mid lane is going to be, well, a huge issue. Are they going to dual lane that? Are they going to sort of sack it?
Warlock.
They go for the Warlock,
Radiant
which
team
is not really a great dual mid hero, but it is a great hero just in general. You can lane it anywhere. It will always have an impact, even if it gets literally no farm at all.
10
So
seconds
they are giving
remaining.
themselves some more time to think about this.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
I'm looking at, like, one of the reasons Team Empire had a problem in the
10
last game is
seconds
because they
remaining.
had no way to fight into the 5-man Vega
5
Squadron because
seconds
they all
remaining.
had single target right-click damage. So I wonder if they want to continue on the
Reserve time.
like the Warlock theme here, or if they're going to move into some more single target damage of their own, because Vega are just going to be clicking people again.
so far. I mean, Ogre Magi, I mean, that even opens up more unconventional carry picks. If you think about it, I mean, we used to see a lot of Faceless Void together with the Ogre Magi, just because that Bloodlust means that you're more likely
Dire
to get a lot of
team
extra
ban.
bashes in for the extra damage. Not sure if Vega Squadron want to go back for that this time around, but any sort of right clicker just gets amplified up by the Bloodlust so much.
10 seconds
Vega
remaining.
take out the Legion Commander again. They also did this last game.
5
So they
seconds remaining.
think it's a Clockwork support.
That seems to be the way that most teams
Reserve time.
in the CS region have, regardless of if you have the Shadow Fiend or not. Just I kind of
I'm
like
not
it
a
if you
big
can
fan.
pull it off. But yeah, there you go.
It is. I like it
Already in
most
a confrontational
team
course, the two
pick.
of us. But yeah.
if you can run like aggro dual lanes with it really well,
Yeah.
because if the Clockwork gets a couple of levels up, he can actually run down supports and solo kill them,
Yeah.
which is something very few other position 4s can do with that little effort.
10 seconds remaining.
But if he doesn't manage to get off a good start like that,
5
you
seconds
fall
remaining.
into sort of a gap where you have nothing for a while until he's strong enough
Reserve
to
time.
hook in and survive, and then he's a great second initiator actually. So you go in with someone, fight goes, and then the Clockwork comes in after and splits it up. But
Yeah, with
you gotta
that kind
get
of power
there.
curve, he kind of falls into where a lot of other of these 4 position heroes also fall. Earth Spirits, the Monkey King, where if you fall behind early, you kind of have to forfeit your impact in the early game, then have to find your levels to get back into it later. But on the
You
flip
have no
side, if you do
utility though.
find these early levels, what was that?
You have no utility though. It's like Earth
Well,
Spirit has
no.
long range stun as silence.
Dire team pick.
Ricky always has the silence, always can give the vision. This guy just walks around. I really want this to be offlane, basically. And now
Clogs
Vega
can be
have the
quite powerful in
Rubik.
the right position,
10
but
seconds remaining.
then the problem becomes that you pick the
5
Clockwork
seconds
first, so
remaining.
Vega Squadron are plenty of ways to just start picking around the as evidenced now by the Rubik. It's kind of the classic
Reserve
soft
time.
counter to Clock. Pluck him up, and when you put some cogs and then put him on the wrong side of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
So this pick is really important for Team Empire. They gotta show their hand now. They gotta show a little bit of the plan. And Vega started with the plan. They're like, all right, this is our Shadow Fiend.
Riki.
So there is the
Radiant
Riki.
team pick.
That means, yes, I think I get my wish. And we also get the support with the actual utility. And the Ogre Magi has to stay mid
10
now. He
seconds
can't just
remaining.
go in there and then leave, because as soon as he turns his back, this Riki
5
is gonna
seconds
be
remaining.
stabbing the Shadow Fiend.
Reserve time.
Soul Warlord.
Dire team pick.
Attack speed and damage.
10 seconds.
And they
remaining.
have 2 disables on the supports already as well, so this is
5
a
seconds remaining.
pretty well-rounded draft already. The only thing they lack is any AoE team fight,
Reserve
basically.
time.
But if
Storm
they
Spirit.
can... Storm
Radiant
Spirit.
team ban.
Okay, now Empire are trying to close the gap. They got 3 heroes that can jump in on something now. So that's really great
10
against
seconds
these
remaining.
ranged right clickers. And if you get on top of either of them, like the Troll Warlord, especially before he has a lot of
Dire
levels
team
up
ban.
in the Bash and the Fervor is going to have a hard time man-fighting people. So Team Empire really countering this time, not going for the big
10
dominant
seconds remaining.
display of power.
5 seconds remaining.
I would love to
Dire
see that.
team pick.
Yeah. That's the dream right there. But I'm not sure if Alk is a hero. You'd have to run him safe lane.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Something that can do just fine with only a Warlock to help him out. I think the Jug is a pretty good pick here. And
10 seconds
Vega
remaining.
will only have their offlaner to answer with,
5
which is
seconds
fine
remaining.
because that is going to be the matchup for this last pick here. Ooh,
Radiant team pick.
more gap closing.
Bat Rider!
Find this initial pick off to then snowball to a fight, essentially. Vega Squadron setting themselves up with some decent backline heroes that aren't necessarily always easy to kill, and then some initiation of the run at the line of Bat Rider now picked up by Apple.
That Bat Rider is probably going to have a pretty good lane unless the Riki starts top and I try to kill him first. But there is not a lot of hard disable on Team Empire. So I think it mostly comes down to whether Empire can indeed lock that Ogre Magi into the middle lane. If they can keep him there
10 seconds
and he can't
remaining.
just show up to mess with the other lanes, that means the Rubik
5
is confined
seconds
to the safe
remaining.
lane. And they can get their farm up and get that Storm Spray at some much needed levels before any tower pushing starts. And then they should be alright. But if Vega get to move around a bit, I think things get much more different for Empire.
This is definitely interesting to see how this develops. Empire, of course, with the backs up against the wall. The screen is still bugged. Thanks, Valdo. We had like a million matches, but I haven't fixed the Tower Showdown in Captain's mode.
I'm not sure why that's even in there. Hey, the towers do level up.
Prepare
So
for battle.
I guess it's doing
Question
something.
is, can you tell the level from the towers? Have you played enough Dota already?
No, I definitely haven't. Both of
Can
these
you
are
do that as
pretty high up
spectators? It's
there,
actually
though.
ridiculous. But yeah, these are pretty close to max level. I don't think I've seen these kind of throbbing towers like on the dire side just yet on my game.
I
Those are-
have, but I have some friends that are pretty crazy about buying compendium levels. There's at least one guy that's level 1000 already, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I am
Here I
probably
am
gonna
thinking that I'm crazy just dropping 100 euros on it.
I am probably going to go level 1000 again if
30
I'm on a team
seconds
that
to
goes to
battle.
TI. Like last year, I went to level 1000 as an offering to Gaben, and Fnatic got 4th. So I think that worked out just fine. So if I'm going there, yeah, I am sacrificing my money to the Valve gods once again.
These esports dollars back into esports.
I won about $5 of my own money. How crazy is that?
The battle
Well, the
begins.
real you, on a troll. looks like a Monkey King with the set. Gonna get bullied off this lane. It's Empire gonna start with 3 bounty runes and belt. Pretty good start so far from this rig.
Rubik showing off why he's such a popular soft counter, as you said, to the Clockwork. Is it Clockwork on top of you? No, he's not anymore.
The cool thing about Rubik is that all of the spells have no cast point. So sometimes you have heroes like Spirit Breaker, even Luna,
Earth Shaker.
Clockwork, Earth Shaker, yeah. Any of these heroes that have a lot of white up on the spells, and then the Clockwork's just right next to you and you're screwed, period.
The Ricky
Can't
is
do
not
anything feels
right
so
now.
bad, but Rubik's not one of those. So even if Ghost is right on top of him, you can always just pluck him up and then drop him away from you.
Xiaoman the Slayer is just staying there, and FN is he gonna be okay? Oh, I don't think he is.
Tower shot's actually gonna get the counter kill on Zero. I mean, well, up top, a lot of damage was being done to top. But yeah, he's been forced all the way back behind the tower into TP.
So Empire realized that this Bat Rider is going to have too much space if they don't start the Ricky here. But that means sacrificing their mid lane really hard. But the choice has been made. I'm not sure if they're getting Afterlife is the thing. I'm not sure this is worth it. He is playing so
level 1
safe.
still, so at the very least that's working so far. But that's 2 extra heroes essentially with 2 supports. So that's the case. If you look at Event on the flip side, he's already forced to go ahead and jump. Doesn't feel safe instead.
So yeah, the thing that I said has already happened. Xiaoman the Slayer can move out of this lane. It's won. It's over. Now the Ricky has to go in there and convince him to return. Instead of him just getting to waddle around. And yeah, he is actually going to anticipate that. But I think if he goes bot, they can probably kill this Clockwork. So I'm not sure why. Oh, he's gonna mess with the Storm Spirit. Poor FN. He can't fight this ogre at all.
We're in the first 4 to 5 levels. Kind of this one guy just looks at you, punches you in the face, and you can't do anything about it.
He's just gonna jungle somewhere else.
Yeah.
See, I was like, oh, there's no creeps here. I'm gonna waddle after you. Oh, I do not want to be FN right now. But on the flip side, he is level 3, just like the Spectre and the Clockwork. And the only one on Vega that's level 3 is the Shadow Fiend right now. FN dodged the ogre.
Seems good.
Yeah, now the ogre is gonna come from behind.
Around.
He's a bit unlucky that the Clockwork was moving back just now. I don't think the clock saw him though, so he's gonna try again. And if Ghostic doesn't watch out, this is going to be a second kill. He is very wary, look at him. He's very scared of the ogre coming in.
Still managed to pick up his Draco boots, that'll put him back up to full health soon enough.
I'm just gonna be watching.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious, but I don't think he quite has damage on the flank. 1, 2, no. The bottle will be delivered to FM, and now Ghostic. Here's enough of this. Finally.
Is he gonna be able to catch up though? He's only level 3.
Well, it's a thought that counts, right? I mean.
It's the thought that makes him lose
hey
experience on bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, he can't walk all the way over there. That's half a level.
Yeah.
So
how much is the mental health of your mid laner worth to you?
Well, seeing as how they completely abandoned him at the start, I'd say nothing. Alright, they're gonna go on the Bat Rider again, top. And
straight up TPs out. Do they have enough damage?
damage?
Yes, they do. Chapping. 2 points up on Desolate. Pretty damn good.
Yeah,
have to
so
get this early point in dispersion.
Nice touch there from the Bat Rider, turning his back so that the Riki couldn't access it easily before
Dire's
TPing,
bottom tower
but it
is
wasn't
under
enough.
attack.
So that top lane at the very least is going in Empire's favor. But
The Riki at least worked out in that regard, but yeah, he's he can go mid now and get some levels up.
so the trade of all this is that you end up giving the free lane to a Shadow Fiend. That's a hero that if he gets ahead by like 2-3k golds, is just always able to just take over the mid game entirely. So
Dire's middle
it's
tower
always
is
been the
under
case
attack.
back before these jungle
Dire's
nerfs and the raise
structures are
nerf, the
fortified.
extra mana cost. That's back when he was super popular, and even if you beat him in lane, you just go to the jungle, pop him a couple of stacks, and still come out ahead. Meanwhile top, they're gonna go again here, Chappie, extra kill from him. It's gonna be a down to the Spectre to try and deflect some of that aggression, and it's bound to come out from Vega soon.
The Spectre is highest net worth on the map right now though. He's gonna fly a full magic wand and a full urn in soon. And I think that as soon as he has level 6 there's going to be some kind of haunt engagement. And that's gonna determine pretty much if Empire feel confident going into the rest of the game.
Riki on the left and stays inside the smoke screen, but it's on level 1. Not quite enough just to keep him safe, so that's a good catch.
He hoped to go in Vis again before they could kill him, but sadly not the case. Well, at least there's one thing. If a tower goes down this early, the creep wave, the way the creep wave works is it's going to be on Empire's side of the map more often now. So this does actually make it slightly safer for FN to farm the mid lane. But yes, this Shadow Fiend feeling confident.
To rotate here. He does have a haste rune to work with him. Not Chappie, highest net worth, not anymore, already eclipsed here. Even if he can just make his way out and actually gonna get the counter kill here with Ghost Stick setting up for that one.
His urn wasn't there yet. It's a shame. That's 2 urn charges he could have had. And
Back
that
up to full health, so right now that's around Shadow Word. But he isn't forced back to base, so that rotation ultimately failed from Vega, and now Pushka scouting out with the rest of the Mars, so he can feel safe farming up.
the other one we haven't really talked about yet is the real you, who has been farming pretty well on this bot lane, and he's also been getting some taps in on that bottom tower. So if Empire don't watch out, they're also going to lose this bot tower. And they'll have to think about if they want to answer that now, or if they're just going to leave the Clockwork there. But the Clockwork really doesn't want to stay there once he gets level 6. He wants to roam, he wants to try and kill this Shadow Fiend. So, who are you gonna dedicate to making sure this Troll Warlord doesn't just push in your bottom lane all the time? Those are the kind of questions you need to think about.
Yeah. Normally it's one of the supports that just takes that over, sucks some experience. I mean, Pushka's still level 3, just level 4 now, just next event. Just don't know there's a sign on there, but then you also look at the Warlock, who's also just broke level 4. So these are the kind of suits that you would put there once Ghosty gets to level 6 or level 7 even. Something sort of
They can't stop the push though. It's like Troll Warlord laughs at those people.
Well,
You're gonna
you
stand
can
there, you're a range creep.
across, you're not contesting the Troll Warlord, but you're contesting the creeps. That makes sense.
Let's see, are they actually thinking of going on him here? The Riki is holding his 4th point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Ogre Magi is here. Did they see him? I think the Clockwork just pinged him. Yeah, they saw him. So they can't go anymore.
They can barely kill him. Same area. Just a recipe for Sassy, especially with the Shadow Fiend, also holding it to B. It's waiting
They're
for
gonna
an opportunity to respond.
go for the Shadow Fiend instead. Here's the thing. Don't hook the Riki. There you go. Step aside.
The right one. Now the Silence follow up, so it can raise through. Chappie coming in to try and help. Also, 3 heroes right on top of them. Again, still continue to try and TP people in to turn this around. Chappie, he's been body blocked, he's taking down shots. But the stick shot is keeping him alive. Another beautiful set of guards now. Events zipping into that, gets a kill for himself, but looking for Silent now. A couple right clicks will have to do the trick. Stick shot is not enough to keep him safe. It's Chappie throws in a dagger to sneak a double kill for himself. So Empire, all of them pretty damn low on health points. The only one who isn't is King R, who is nowhere near that action.
This is the kind of game they wanted to play. Pick one off, they TP in. Alright, sure, bring another. We're gonna kill that one too, one by one. So they got themselves a pretty good start to their playstyle right now. And Vega are they have to wisen up to that. So they gotta group a little bit more than they'd really want to. They can't just farm wherever they want anymore. And if you look at FN, actually, he might not have recovered in net worth quite yet, but his levels are up there, which is really good for any mid laner really that's been contested this hard. Yeah,
level
like
9, everyone else is level 8 at the most.
Especially this early, the levels count just as much as the net worth does. So he's gonna have quite some damage to work with. And Vega might underestimate that because they're like, nah, he's been shut down so hard. And King R gets to have the top lane now. Look at these wards from Vega. They were really looking to transition into pressuring the Empire jungle, but they haven't really been able to do that yet. There's not really been any Batrider ganks. The only time that they walked up there, they dove the top tower and Chappie got his first kill out of that. So their vision right now is wasted, and you gotta look at where they're going to place the new round of wards that's going to come in soon. Because that's going to determine where they, at least where they want to play for the next 5 minutes or so.
Should be looking to try and put on more pressure here on this top side of the map. Try to restrict the farming space for the Spectre a little.
They can, I mean, Empire is not going to be taking those towers very fast, so the jungle wards will continue to keep paying off. But if Vega keep the aggression up, they might not actually be there very often. That's because they are 7-2, they're probably feeling confident. This Riki is gonna set up shop in the Vega jungle basically. So if you keep those wards there, it is mostly for the Spectre. I'm not sure if you want to do that. I think you might actually want to get a flanking ward or one or two of these towers and push it down. Dedicate yourself to that. At least the real you is gonna get bot, I think.
Get bottom, maybe get top tier 1, trying to get that extra bit of money in your pocket, because that puts Batrider closer to the Blink deck. He's on level 5 now, so it'll still be a while until he gets that plus his levels to boot.
He is their only real initiation.
Shut down as much as he has, but once he gets there, the game kind of changes a little bit. You have that opportunity to jump in on your own, drag someone back into a Shadow Fiend or something like that. Actually, utilizing that vision somewhat. Quite aggro here, dragging the creeps back to him. And of course knowing that Empire and the very well their shrine up. Now looking for more targets to reel you down bottom.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The hook shot out already here. They can't find this kill. Perhaps maxed out now. Jump into a silence and then.
Oh, he gets hit by the cogs on the way out. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, Ghost Lake making good use of these cogs. These hook shots.
So Empire stay on the offensive here. And they are going to have the haunt within a minute again.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Vega got a
Now locked down here. Did everyone of them zip here and there? Yes, they do. Maybe not just get here. The lift on the Miposhka to bring him down first. Before the Ogre falls. The extent of it, 1-for-1 trade. G picking up that kill though, so that puts him right back up on his feet. And the top of the network with charge. 4 stuff already completed. Now, the smoke up. Lights being drawn to the bottom lane. Here, the all alone. Here, the rocks being dropped right on top of his head. Does half health.
They are too late.
Brought down immediately now. Sioma will be scaled out by Ghost Stick. That's gonna be a secondary casualty here unless Vega turns him down. The ultimate comes through from the Spectre. A lot of craziness happening. They're all linked up too. So if they can get some damage on any one of those, at least Sioma will die. Silent also not on the world either, but with that ultimate finally being channeled up by G, gonna get the turnaround kill first on the Warlock and chase the rest of Team Empire out of the jungle. Oh, look at this FN. Finds a region rune though as a consolation prize.
He is a happy camper.
So, good defense, Vega. Are they fighting back enough against Team Empire now?
I think that if Empire makes a decision to use the cogs to reset the fight, get some earn charges out, it's actually very hard for Vega to defend that tower, because Empire can just jump on their backlines. So you hold the haunt, you reset the fight, and then if they stay and defend, you pop the haunt, you see where the supports are, and FN can just jump right on top of them. I don't think Vega holds that tower, but Empire just a little bit too quick on the trigger. And that gives Vega, well, it's not really a big kill, but enough to deter Empire right there. And one of the things that's actually happened is because Empire kept them busy, the vision in the Dire jungle has not been re-established. So they don't have any vision of event farming right now, they don't know where the Spectre is, and they're just sitting 3-man behind their SF because they don't know where Empire is. They might come out of the bushes at any moment now. Except they're all farming jungle.
They could have gone on Troll Warlord here if Ghost was but at the same time they also didn't have a lot of vision of what the Squadron was at. Both teams kind of being afraid that they're baiting each other essentially. But it's Vega Squadron is gonna get the better end of that here, putting on some pressure on the tower. Afterlife to the inside. A good start with this blink that he just picked up.
And they have the flanking vision established now with his ward up on the high ground. So they can see Empire want to jump.
Bushka though, now the Husha comes through. Spectre on though, just as it's connected, so they don't actually get the stun. Silent will still fall though. G with the defensive ultimate here, just trying to slow them down. Sioma also not quite enough for him. G, no, nothing. One more punch will do it. There it is. Death ultimate. And low a little bit here. Turn around from Batra, spreading the fire. It should get chappy, and they do. The wheel you though, well, with the battery still going, not much for the world either. Can't even get the ultimately a 4-for-2 trade. Silent already back in the land of the living. Level 6. They did get 2 more, so now they're looking for another Ghost Stick. This thing is welcome, but now, well, no raiding feeds tanks.
Not sure you want to fight that guy.
He just says, hey, I'm a clockwork. I'll fight you, no problem.
Yeah, that's really, I'm not sure if you want to do that. And here's the thing, they had the vision down, right? They can see that Empire wants to go in. They know Empire has the vision to go in. At that point you're already too late. Like, you established the vision to make sure that you can go into them. But with the Batrider positioned off to the side of the tower instead of where the vision was, they had no way to actually react to the fact that they saw Empire coming in. And then they ran away, which doesn't make any sense against this many gap closers.
They also had their sentry on the wrong side of this. Because Miposhke walked all the way around here, outside of the sentry range. So he got kind of offset that vision advantage and made it even. He kept tabs on absolutely everybody on the side of Vega there to set up for the pro shot. Though a bit of a miscommunication was still ended up happening here, and Ghostig hooked one of the spectacles. That is the last there. They find Stormbird and they have enough damage. So once again, after that blunder with the last fight for Vega.
Yeah, this bot tower is just gonna go down without any contest whatsoever. And Vega still have all of their tier 1s up. Empire.
This kill score, Empire has not been able to transition that into towers. So how much is that gonna hurt them going forward? Just in terms of map control now.
You mostly have to make sure that your warding game is on point. It doesn't matter too much to not get those towers if you have the net worth advantage, which, let me put up the graph. They kept it pretty much even, so all of those towers are only really serving to keep Vega in the race rather than keeping them ahead. So most of it is about map control, and with the help of the Riki and some good wards, I think they can offset it. But you gotta keep on top of that, because if you don't, you're just gonna get picked off, and that's not ideal for a lineup that wants to do the picking off.
Vega, 3 of them just wants right across the Riki. So this intelligence that people are just gathering this game, which has been so valuable. Time and time again. It's also
It's a courier, there's the team. Are they gonna smoke?
Yeah, they're gonna smoke right on top of him. Break immediately.
He's
He's also very well positioned, so even if they get even if they dust immediately
Radiant's
after
bottom
a
tower
potential
is under
smoke,
attack.
I'll actually think twice about it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And all this time Chappie just gets to
Stupendous.
hit bot tower. So they get their first tower of the game there.
Tower has fallen.
Made me think about smokes, but I didn't have. Now, after we're sitting in the side.
Dire's top tower is
What a
under
fan.
attack.
Yeah, he knows. This is going on. He's still being caught out, but able to zip away in time. There's the rest of Empire coming through. They want to. Steps on the back, and there it is. The hook shot wide on top of Sioma. That should be free kill. Maybe not. He forced some help from Jade. So here they get the initiation of Koshka. He's still jumping into Salt mid. Sioma now still dropping lower and lower, and will be right clicked down eventually by Ghostig. So
Finn wasn't even in that fight. He was still running away from a troll illusion.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Vega could have engaged much harder there, I think, making use of the fact that the Storm Spirit just didn't have enough mana to jump back in. But maybe they were scared that he did somehow. Now he's finished up its Bloodstone, so next time he is going to have the mana.
At the same time, Vega, they realized they were kind of calling for the pants down already with the initiation. Guys, so they just didn't become too greedy. Just a decision that you can understand. I mean, you already force out 3 ultimates essentially. A hook shot, back of cooldown now, but more importantly, the Warlock Golem has been dropped since the Spectrum once. Now, you have that opening to for pretty free range and Empire not contest. Drop down on top people.
Hook shot.
No, actually, they still want to contest Ghostig with a hook shot in on 2. Long zip from a fan. The lift is there, and the Aegis being picked up by the wheel. You have to trigger it immediately here. Now Lasso on the Storms, we're bringing him back. He zips down to the top. Chappie, well, dropping low. And low enough. One more right click here with the flame break. Actually enough to take him over. And these fights so back and forth. Ultimately, I don't know, would you put that as a win for Empire? Just taking that Aegis off immediately?
The Spectre has her Radiance already, so not a lot of gold or momentum was lost there. I think that's worth it for Empire. They had the hook shot, they used it really well. I was very sure he was gonna hook the Ricky this time. I'm still waiting for it to happen. But he went in, he had his blade mail up. He's also got a full solar crest. Ghostic is actually really happy with his place in life right now. And this Ricky is just forcing Vega to always be grouped up. Empire can just split the farm, split up the map. And without this Aegis, Vega can't actually make use of this grouping up and just push a tower. If they go into Empire right now, they're gonna lose the fight for sure. So...
Oh, the hook shot will miss though. The Ryu still kind of seems to continue to walk into him. The rock being dropped only catches Sioma here, the Horn as well. Ryu is secure him. Oh, that is the ultimate start. Alright, that's a one. And taking care of that. So we use up the 70 Bloodstone charges as well.
They needed that bonus skill though, otherwise it's really not worth dropping the rock and the haunt. And they can't
maybe
actually...
opening for Vega. That is the Blink Lasso. They can't kill. And they're not even trying to keep him safe.
It's pretty telling to me that as soon as they won that fight, they just all went back instead of trying to get this mid tower. They're really not looking to leverage.
Like you only got the supports, a fairly low death timers at this point still. And you use 2 of your biggest ultimates to make that happen. So how effective is Empire really in fighting at this point without these? Sure, you have 17 Bloodstone charges to install, but you have some mana to work with, but you have no control beyond the electric vortex type. Orchid still in the works. There's not so much he can do reliably.
And this tower situation is...
Right into that though. Go for the kill, they'll find it, Zero Fan with the zip out and Ghostic. Yeah, can't walk away in time. Ulti cast, couple right clicks. He's pretty damn techy though with the evasion coming through from the solar crest, but eventually Afterlife is there with the interceptors.
At least they're getting another tower out of that, but yeah. Ghostic was sitting in that jungle for 2 minutes already. Are they coming back? Oh, they're gonna kill our tower first. Alright, I'm gonna just stay here, we have the vision here. And he gets a pretty big kill out of it as a reward. And I think it's fine to give away your life in exchange for that Troll Warlord. So, one more tier 1 left for Vega. And the Troll Warlord has now also been overtaken by both the Storm and the Spectre on the net worth charts. So, Vega have not a lot of time left to leverage this good start from their Shadow Fiend. The time pressure is on. Spectre is farming. Yasha complete.
Blacking Bar is gonna be the next big time for Shadow Fiend. I think that's what they're looking for now. They have that available, so they doesn't have to deal with the storms with rounds. It doesn't have to deal with raging. It's supposed to be. Goes straight in, the lift up, but the already comes through, taking care of silently, an easy kill on the 2 supports again. Forward, but quick enough on his feet to get himself out of trouble.
Once again, using this deep vision they got over here. And Vegas hasn't actually tried to deward it, they just assumed that the Clockwork had been sitting up there on the high ground without any vision. But now they should know that something's going on in their jungle.
Spotted out, Jeff, and goes in deep for the kill before Afterlife can find the initiation, and that's a gem on the deck instantly. Great pick up there, and they still have an ultimate, they still have the Warlord Golem Destroyer. That is now, BKB comes through, he needs to take this fight and win it. Right the hell now, force up forward onto the high ground, right clicks galore, ghost stick, control up for the supports, brought down with another couple of balls or whatever he's throwing.
Well, that's what the BKB is going to do for you.
And okay,
Oh, you're dead. What a
Hey, poor
surprise.
making that a little bit more costly for Vega Squad. Poor Siona. 1 and 11 already in this game. He's not going to. Now, long zip fan from the fan. They do not have protection. Who picked up the gem anyway? Did they start weekend already?
I am not sure, but...
Back to has it. So,
okay.
didn't have it on Storm Spirit, we got G.
So, yeah, the fact that they take the fight there with the rock after, like, they just kill 2 supports, they dodge the BKB pickup because there's nothing to right click for the SF, they all just sort of split, and then they go back in with the rock and they just allow that SF to get something out of that first BKB. He gets 2 kills, I believe, and that's really, you're setting yourself up for it at that point.
Not sure if they realize it up already. I mean, they definitely saw his items beforehand. They may not have been necessarily sure how far along he's going.
They picked off the 2 supports and they saw him with the BKB in his inventory. Like, perhaps they didn't spot it in the chaos?
Yeah.
But
Well, they know about it now at the very least, so they'll have to adjust accordingly.
they nearly get the pick off of the back of it while it was on cooldown, but no detection for the Shadow Blade.
But now,
So
he took over the gem from Gappy, so next time. And all of a sudden, you look at FN, you see a very scary hero. Orchid, gem, 21 Bloodstone charges, Arcane Rune even. And that was some of these things.
they can just
And
keep on
Vega.
blowing up these backliners. Vega have no real way to defend their supports if the Storm Spirit goes in.
Well, anyone really, Snowswood and Chappy both. We talked about it in draft, this gap closing Empire is really being utilized well to just pick up the supports in every single fight straight off the bat. So there's no more bloodlust, there's no more lifts, no spell steals or anything.
We haven't seen
Also
any
Vega
spell
picking
steals at all.
shit on as well. Shadow Fiend down, brought down instantly before he can even get the BKB off. Aurelio has his own one, but only lost 2 heroes, so will maybe get King Arthur now. Forced to scramble away to the wrong side of the map. FN out of mana for now, so he can't actually lock him down.
I think you just move up to the high ground and TP somewhere there. Yeah, there you go.
They catch him
Oh!
though. Just last second, and then short zip into the lockdown.
He has so much mana regen with those 24 Bloodstone charges. And the SF actually did pop his BKB at the last possible second there.
Yep.
So that's another charge down. He
Seconds.
is... Yes.
Roshan, that's a quick spot to do. Those things ready to take with the solid fast. Might be away. Good thing it contests now. 2 heroes down. So. Well, oh no, especially not
Now
blood
you
gets
definitely
picked
can.
off. Ghosting just Ghosting at the end, both of them, just one step ahead of the Spectre every single time.
It is so hard to play against that Riki. All of the vision on the backline all of the time.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So now, Empire very much in control of this game. Even though it's only 4, almost 5k net worth advantage. A lot of what's equalizing that is the Shadow Fade, who is having issues. Unless he gets a BKB off immediately, he's not going to be effective in a fight at all.
And if he gets his BKB off, they can actually dodge him. They don't have to deal with him and they can actually still kill the supports all around him if they want to. So Rubik nearly has a Force Staff. Only needs the Ring of Regen and then he's going to be a little bit more survivable against this. And the Ogre Magi still has nothing. He is working on that Solar Crest, but he's not going to get there anytime soon.
He just has to play full poverty mode every single time. So it's...
And here you just see the effect of the lineup of Empire, because oh, they gotta see that ward up there, right? Or is it? Yeah. He just doesn't dare to deward it. I wanted to say you need to group up, otherwise you're dead.
You know that he's only a zip away from almost anywhere on the map with the amount of time he has with button charges.
He was
you
basically
have your whole team there, you're not dewarding.
Yoga was praying that there wasn't a ward up there, which makes me wonder why, if you're praying that there's not a ward up there, are you going to put the sentry down? So uncontested bot tower here. Batrider spotted out, he can't go in at all. Empire is set up too well. In a case like this, what you gotta do ideally is fight the Spectre. She is very tanky right now, but still killable. Oh, hook shot.
And the horn in. They find G, gets BKB off a little bit earlier this time, eats his way through the cogs. Tries to shadow blade away, but Rock's being up. Vision with defense. Gem's still holding on to that one. Bushka just the control in the back. It is snap up 2, and it chases him all the way inside the base. G trying to rescue himself towards and trying to be able to do another race. He turns this around, so they get one. FN, not a lot of mana actually to work with here, so he needs to rely on 4-staff from supports. Get himself out, bit of an extra heal. They're still chasing. It'll be a juicy kill indeed. If they could get it here, they at least get the Aegis. Then back off, so make Empire think twice about trying that again. That was a very deep
tier
dive.
3. Yeah. Like, you're not actually that far ahead, Empire. I know it feels like that, but they wanted that Shadow Fiend so bad and they just couldn't get him.
Wasn't for 7.0 shrines would have worked as well.
Under attack.
That's the only thing that kept Vega alive at that point. Oh, gonna take what they can get.
Oh, Boshka showed. So, as I was saying before, if you're Vega, you gotta find the Spectre and you gotta jump on him. Because if you find anyone else, the Spectre is gonna come to you. And the launch cooldown is so low now.
Sounds like he's still alive, but instead they go on the Batrider.
Oh. I don't think Empire are gonna give Vega any time for Spectre finding shenanigans.
Yeah, it is long range shot as well on G. Gets BKB off. One touchdown. So once again. Biggest one of the book trials, which is on what, a 55-second cooldown at this point, even without axe. So it's like gonna be back out for the high ground push soon enough. Ben's mana pool, we don't have to talk about that one. 29 dots on shot.
He is enjoying his life. And this is something I said earlier, right? The team is often like, nah, he can't really contribute, we shut him down. But that often leads to teams over-engaging just at the moment in time where a player that has had some difficulty can just get right back into it. And FN has really enjoyed being given that opportunity.
Shadow Fiend only a couple of minutes ago, 4,000 net worth separated these two heroes. Stands Vega, they're feeling the pressure now. The grouping up is 5, they have smoke at the ready, they have one on the backpacker. So this is just movement to secure their own side jump. This is where we're at right now. At the same time, Empire smoked up themselves, get ready to go whenever. Bushka finds something here. Walk into the center, get the lasso, but instead Chappy haunting it, trying to help his buddy out. And Van meanwhile focusing on the Ogre with the running drop. Beautiful cogs if Ghost as well, also catches the Wheelio. He will die to races here. Getting some counter kills here. Chappy as well. If they can get this kill, that would be amazing, and they do. G. Doing it for all it's worth here. It'll still be 3 for 3. It's FN. Just looking scary here, zipping in and out.
Empire jumped way too far there. It's like,
They were up here and then Portugal caught out here and they still went in. Still sort of worked out, at least for FN. Got some extra bots and charges out of it here and there, but they didn't kill G, they lost the Spectre. That is an all-out success. Especially not in the position that they brought themselves in ready.
Stupendous!
their lanes were pressured in, so at least they're not losing any map control off of this. They don't have to, you know, reset, push all the lanes back out again. Because Vega are still so grouped.
Almost got the jump on a Ven there. He's was farming aggressively.
Oof.
Wow.
And they saw that ward too. It was close to expiring, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But all of Empire's aggressive vision is down now, so they are really reliant on Miposhka to give them the information. And he's placed, well, this ward is probably not going to get dewarded that fast.
So Afterlife just flies across.
Radiant's top
He does
tower
have
is
another
under
gem now.
attack.
So
I think they're pinging it
Portugal has to
actually.
be careful about this Batrider, yeah. Not normally a ward that you see all that often unless you're up against a Tinker.
So many pings. They actually know it was there.
Find it.
That's... How did they see that?
Question, did
Haste!
have any sentries there that could have spotted out the bush? Maybe he showed in the creeps?
I guess he might have showed on the creeps and then they figured that that's the kind of ward that he would place, but that's some pretty good deduction right there.
Shan will spawn in about a minute. That'll be next big point of contestation for both of these teams.
And they've both got their visions set up at their own sides of the river to make sure that it doesn't get dewarded. But Empire are going to be able to split pressure here.
Top lane is being
Sentry,
pressured,
those two
but-
sentries don't see each other. Look at how close that is. You gotta wonder, is that lucky or is that unlucky?
It just depends on your perspective, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway, the benefit of having a Spectre in these kind of situations is that if you feel confident enough, if you're not scared that you're gonna die to some sort of guy, then Chappy can end up dragging himself to the top of the lane and just send illusions, I guess, to push that one out with the help of the rockets too. So you can respond to this pressure, but still always be there for the fight. It's a great thing about having a hero like that on your team.
And Vega have
See it
no
now.
way to find him. So they're going to have to fight Empire straight up.
Flies across here, but comes from Empire just right in the battle to find him. Now the rock dropped on two to bring down the battle, bring down Silent, and they drag back Jace out of BKB time already. It's really one side the cogs. And they're just falling apart here at this point.
That is really worth some great cogs. And then the Force Staff out just in time, so Vega get no kills out of that and Roche just spawned. They also re-established their deep vision and they got the gem. The Batrider died and bought back, so this vision is gonna go uncontested. And if they want to do some blink in shenanigans, no, they don't. They would have gotten seen anyway.
At all. I mean, overall, he has had.
Immortality is
Not nearly as much as
mine!
he needed to, because he's been counted out every single time in this fusion game. Always been initiated on him.
Death's
Miposhka finds him, the Rocket Flare finds him, and then FN just makes a beeline straight for him, gets some damage on him, prevent the blink, prevent the lasso. Then Vega Squadron's just overwhelmed, they have nothing else to throw in response to what Empire has to offer. No counter initiation.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
If you have something like an
It's Afterlife. Right,
start
up.
out.
Now gets
Oh.
hooked, forced up, don't force a cross. Shooter try, but Ben doesn't really care. Goes in straight from the next one, Rocket Magi, and that's give him a jab. He's sneaking that up.
They just ignore G.
Last man standing, but being kited in BKB. Then force us out of the park. Wanting all the way back to base, trying to slow down by some sort of diffuse blade here, push holding onto that. That's a full 5-man wave, Empire, not even breaking a sweat. This is like a mirror of the last game where Vega looked just as good as Empire did this one.
Yeah, these two teams are really going toe to toe here. It's funny because Vega had the net worth advantage for most of the game, but they just couldn't leverage that into enough progress. They got the towers, but they didn't actually get the actual pressure. Empire just seemed very relaxed this game. They knew that if they